Discussion on verses 1 to 25 of 25. This chapter begins by depicting the immense and unimaginable events that will occur on the Day of Judgment, demonstrating the collapse of the very foundations of the universe. The intention is to awaken people from heedlessness and complacency, by highlighting that if the strongest and most stable elements of creation can be overturned, then the weak human being, who has failed to prepare for accountability with Allah, the Exalted, stands no chance without conscious effort. Chapter 84 Al-Inshiqaq, verses 1 to 6.
When the sky has split open, and has responded to its Lord and was obligated to do so, and when the earth has been extended, and has cast out that within it and relinquished it, and has responded to its Lord and was obligated to do so. O mankind, indeed you are laboring toward your Lord with great exertion and will meet it.
Allah, the Exalted, emphasizes that this life is one of effort, discipline, and accountability, not a place for ease and idleness. It was created as a test to determine whether individuals will use the blessings Allah, the Exalted, has granted them in the correct manner. True peace of mind in both worlds, achieved through a balanced mental and physical state, and the proper placement of all aspects of life, is only attainable by recognizing this purpose and striving to fulfill it. Chapter 84 Al-Inshiqaq, verses 7 to 9.
Then as for he, who is given his record in his right hand, he will be judged with an easy account, and return to his people in happiness.
However, obedience to Allah, the Exalted, often conflicts with personal desires and worldly ambitions, leading many to persist in disobedience. This rejection prevents them from attaining a balanced mental and physical state, and causes them to misplace people and priorities in their lives. Consequently, everything they possess, family, friends, career, wealth, can become sources of stress rather than comfort. When they misattribute their difficulties to the wrong causes, such as blaming loved ones for their struggles, they often sever these relationships, further deepening mental anguish. This can escalate into severe mental disorders, including depression, addiction, and even suicidal thoughts. Observing the lives of those who misuse their blessings, such as the wealthy or famous, illustrates this reality. Despite apparent worldly success, their lives are often marked by internal chaos and dissatisfaction. The consequences extend beyond this world. Persisting in disobedience while misusing one's blessings ensures that one will face far greater punishment on the Day of Judgment. Chapter 84 Al-Inshiqaq, verses 10 to 15.
But as for he, who is given his record behind his back, he will cry out for destruction, and enter to burn in a blaze. Indeed he had once been among his people in happiness. Indeed he had thought he would never return to Allah. But yes, indeed his Lord was ever of him seeing.
Allah, the Exalted, encourages people to recognize the signs of His wisdom and authority through reflection on creation, emphasizing that these signs not only affirm His oneness but also demonstrate that He alone must be obeyed in all circumstances. Chapter 84 Al-Inshiqaq, verses 16 to 17.
So I swear by the twilight glow, and by the night and what it envelops.
The carefully regulated path of the sun ensures that the earth receives an optimal balance of light and darkness. The timing and duration of days and nights, which vary throughout the year, allow individuals to make the most productive use of their time. If days were excessively long, people would suffer fatigue, reducing efficiency in work and daily responsibilities. If nights were too long, insufficient time would remain for essential activities, such as work, education, or social duties. Conversely, nights that are too short would prevent adequate rest, undermining health and well-being. Even minor changes in these cycles could negatively affect crops and the food supply for both humans and animals. The seamless balance of these systems highlights the oneness of Allah, the Exalted, since multiple deities with conflicting intentions would create disorder rather than the harmony observed in the universe. Chapter 21 Al-Anbiya, verse 22.
Had there been within them, i.e., the heavens and earth gods besides Allah, they both would have been ruined.
And chapter 84 Al-Inshiqaq, verse 18.
And by the moon when it becomes full.
The moon, reflecting sunlight, provides illumination at night, guiding travelers across deserts and oceans, a critical necessity for transportation and trade, which continues to this day. Its phases directly influence the tides, which sustain ecological balance. Any disruption in these natural cycles could have severe environmental consequences. Beyond illumination and tidal regulation, the sun and moon together allow humans to measure time accurately, which is essential for coordinating daily activities, agriculture, and navigation. The precision and harmony of the sun, moon, and other cosmic systems point unmistakably to a single creator, whose knowledge and power govern the universe with perfect order. This balance serves as a clear invitation for people to submit to Allah, the Exalted, and obey His guidance, recognizing that the same wisdom that sustains the cosmos can guide them to peace of mind, a balanced life, and success in both this world and the hereafter. Reflecting on one's own life from birth to old age reveals the absolute control and authority of Allah, the Exalted. A person enters this world without choice, experiences growth, learning, illness, and aging, all without personal control, and ultimately faces death again without choice. Chapter 84 Al-Inshiqaq, verse 19.
That you will surely experience state after state.
Every stage of human development, from infancy to maturity, and every experience endured along the way, is determined and managed solely by Allah, the Exalted. This includes physical growth, intellectual development, emotional experiences, health and illness, and the timing of life events. The inevitability of these stages, over which humans have no power, illustrates that life unfolds entirely under the wisdom and governance of Allah, the Exalted. Recognizing this truth encourages individuals to submit to His guidance, understanding that just as He governs the vast complexity of human life, He also alone knows how to guide them toward a balanced mental and physical state, proper placement of all things in their life, and ultimate success in both this world and the hereafter. Yet, many people persist in disobeying Allah, the Exalted, because His commands often contradict their worldly desires and personal ambitions. Chapter 84 Al-Inshiqaq, verses 20-23.
So what is the matter with them that they do not believe? And when the Quran is recited to them, they do not prostrate? But those who have disbelieved deny. And Allah is most knowing of what they keep within themselves.
In reality, those who abandon the divine code of conduct revealed by Allah, the Exalted, in favor of man-made systems, do so to satisfy their own desires. All human-devised codes are ultimately shaped by personal inclinations, ambitions, and self-interest. Unlike divine law, which is founded on wisdom, justice, and mercy, these man-made systems reflect the priorities of those who create them. Often, the wealthy and powerful are the most deeply invested in preserving this approach. Accepting the truth of Islam would require submission to a higher moral framework, one that limits unchecked indulgence, exploitation, and abuse of authority. Fearful of losing their influence and privileges, such individuals not only reject the truth themselves, but also encourage others to follow their lead, prioritizing worldly status over eternal well-being. This pattern has repeated throughout history. The first to oppose the holy prophets, peace be upon them, were frequently the elites, those who feared that divine guidance would expose their corruption and limit their control. Their rejection was rarely due to a lack of evidence or clarity regarding the truth, for the signs of Allah, the Exalted, were manifest before them. Instead, their opposition stemmed from arrogance, pride, and a desire to continue living according to their whims. Thus, rejecting divine guidance is seldom a matter of rational debate about truth or falsehood. More often, it is a condition of the heart, a refusal to restrain one's desires and submit to the authority of the Creator. Those who persist in this path may appear to flourish in worldly terms, but their inner state becomes unbalanced, their blessings misused, and their preparation for accountability on the Day of Judgment neglected, leaving them vulnerable to ultimate loss in both worlds. Chapter 84 Al-Inshiqaq, verse 24.
So give them tidings of a painful punishment.
Therefore, a person must accept and act upon Islamic teachings for their own benefit, even when these teachings contradict their personal desires. Chapter 84 Al-Inshiqaq, verse 25.
Except for those who believe and do righteous deeds. For them is a reward uninterrupted.
They must conduct themselves like a wise patient who accepts and follows the medical advice of a skilled doctor, knowing that the treatment is ultimately for their well-being, even if it involves bitter medicine or a strict diet. Just as this patient eventually attains good mental and physical health, so too does the person who embraces and implements Islamic teachings. This is because the only one who possesses the complete and perfect knowledge required to ensure that a person achieves a balanced mental and physical state, and correctly places everything and everyone within their life, is Allah the Exalted. The understanding of the human mind and body possessed by society, despite extensive research, will never be sufficient to achieve this outcome. Human beings cannot resolve every issue a person may face. Their advice cannot shield one from all forms of mental and physical stress, nor can their guidance ensure that a person correctly prioritizes everything and everyone in their life. These limitations arise from restricted knowledge, limited experience, lack of foresight, and the presence of personal biases. Allah, the Exalted, alone possesses perfect knowledge, and He has granted humanity access to this knowledge through the Holy Quran and the traditions of the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him. This truth becomes evident when one observes the difference between those who use their blessings according to Islamic teachings and those who do not. The contrast between these two groups is clear in their conduct, their emotional stability, and the outcomes of their choices. Even though patients often do not understand the science behind the medicines they are prescribed, and therefore trust their doctor without full comprehension, Allah, the Exalted, does not expect people to follow Islam blindly. Instead, He invites them to reflect upon its teachings so that they may recognize its truthfulness and appreciate its positive effects on their lives. He calls people to approach Islam with insight, not imitation. Chapter 12 Yusuf, verse 108.
Say, this is my way, I invite to Allah with insight, I and those who follow me.
In addition, as Allah the Exalted alone controls the spiritual hearts of people, the true abode of peace of mind, He alone determines who attains tranquility and who does not. Chapter 53 and Najm, verse 43.
And that it is He who makes one laugh and weep.
It is therefore clear that Allah the Exalted grants peace of mind only to those who use the blessings He has given them in the correct manner, as outlined in Islamic teachings. Those who live according to divine guidance attain clarity, balance, and inner stability, while those who misuse their blessings fall into confusion, imbalance, and distress. True peace, mental, physical, and spiritual, comes only from living according to the wisdom revealed by Allah, the Exalted, and from recognizing that His guidance is the only path that leads to tranquility in both worlds. Chapter 16 and Nahl, verse 97.
Whoever does righteousness, whether male or female, while he is a believer, we will surely cause him to live a good life, and we will surely give them their reward in the hereafter according to the best of what they used to do.
And chapter 84 Al-Inshiqaq, verse 25.
Except for those who believe and do righteous deeds. For them is a reward uninterrupted.
All praise is due to Allah, Lord of the worlds, and may peace and blessings be upon His final messenger, Muhammad, his noble family and companions.